So I was on this bus, and there was this guy who was sitting kind of kitty corner in back of me, and I saw that he had his dick hanging out of his pants. And, like, there was this girl sitting next to him, but she was asleep, and I didn't know what to do. So I kind of slyly caught his eye, and then I stood up and yelled really loud, "Excuse me, sir, could you please put your dick back in your pants?" And then he did. And then I was afraid that he was going to attack me right after we got to the bus station, but instead he just disappeared, and I never saw him again.
Self-defense is anything we do to make our lives safer on a daily basis. Self-defense is fighting with our fists, yelling, telling him to stop looking at us, running away, listening to our gut instinct, getting support, knowing that we are worth defending, talking about what happened.
Playing rock!
And playing rock. The goal of self-defense is to provide all women, children, queers, people of color, and targeted communities with options and skills that are effective and practical no matter what our experience, age, level of fitness, or shape of body may be.
This record will address 3 parts of self-defense, the mental, verbal, and physical. Mental self-defense is being tough on the inside and being prepared to take action. It affects how we feel about ourselves and how we come across to others. When we feel confident, we are more able to use our verbal self-defense, which is being assertive and using our voice as a weapon. Knowing how to fight backs up our verbal and mental self-defense. Self-defense is feeling your power.
up, girl?
Hey, nothing much, just chilling.
Why you ain't kicking it there with Sherelle and them?
I don't know, just tripping off dude.
What's up with him? I heard it out fast.
Why don't I just tell you like this?
What's up?
Met him at the park, a family reunion, and we kicked it until it got dark. Chillin', conversating, tossing our drinks and getting too sparked. His brother had it going on, he was dark and fine. Darker than just my kind, drink him up like wine. He dropped his digits, so I dropped mine. Conversation sweet as we've been talking up on the telephone. Said he could not wait till the next time that we meet, so brother, bring it on. I took him to my granny's house so she could analyze Steve game to see what he's all about. It was all good, she gave 2 thumbs up cause she was real impressed with the rose he bought, the way he walked and talked and his life interest. Taking me out for dinners and buying me any and everything became nothing new. Both the love of me, there's nothing that he wouldn't do. And I am tripping out, I never knew love like this before. Damn, how far could it really go? My girls are tripping, they say I don't wanna kick it, but I'd rather be out with my man, so later for them tricking. I thought this brother really was a friend of me, but now it seems like he won't stop hitting me. I thought this brother really was a friend of me, but in reality I'm sleeping with the enemy. I thought this brother really was a friend of me, but now it seems like he won't stop hitting me. I thought this brother really was a friend of me, but in reality I'm sleeping with the enemy. I never could win and shoulda had left when he was done to me. What he did, what should I do? I'm in too deep. Got his ring and 2 kids stuck all up in this mix while other people get deceived. I know I should leave and it's hard to believe, but deep inside he still loves me. Wiping away tears from my eyes, wonder what happened to Mr. Sweet, trying to disregard his put downs and with no feelings on the other chick. Praying to God to help me handle this, cause it seems like every day he gets worse and more scandalous. Having to hug him and hold him tight, tell him he's the only one in my world. Playing the role to stop the hits from coming to daddy's little girl. Situation is changing too, and for the worse now, cause he ain't only hitting mama, he hit on mama's child. Gotta find a way like Tina Turner set my mom free. His sister be calling me up, telling me my brother ain't just gonna let you leave. Now I'm at the range with the peace practicing. Bout to my kids will never touch us again, but it was on. Now this be the biggest throwdown. Didn't even feel the fall from the fist when I hit the ground. My eyes open too red, I'm seeing demons. Daddy know from up the hole was all I heard. My kids screaming, rushed into the room, and now I'm down to straight kill this man. Emptied the clip and took the law in my own hands, wondering why I had to lay him 6 feet in the dirt. But then again, true love ain't supposed to hurt. This story is fiction, but it's also very true. It might not be happening to me, but it could be happening to you. Battering is the #1 health risk to women in the U.S. today. Over 2 million women will be beaten this year, and over 1,400 of these women will die. Statistics show a woman is abused every 15 seconds in this country. 17% of pregnant women are, and overall more than 50% of women will be. The shelters are full, and there are less shelters for women than there are animal shelters. 50% of homeless women are in flight now because of abusive relationships. 4 to 5 women die every day by the hands of their lovers or their current spouses. And 3 or 4 of these women will die while they are trying to leave or after they have already left. 30% of all female homicides are killed by their boyfriends, and it is the leading case in every emergency room. Frustration and poor communication is a man's best defense, and Congress is just now considering the Violence Against Women Act to protect our equal and civil rights. The solution is education, and education is just the start.
I was raped.
My boyfriend always tells me that I am stupid and fat.
My coworker lisps and prances to imitate queers.
My history teacher only calls on the boys.
My boyfriend's parents didn't want me to go out with him because I wasn't white.
I was molested by my grandfather starting when I was 10 years old.
Violence is violence.
I've been forced to deal semblance of dealing. I've been forced to kill, semblance of killing. Killing your clone is still murder. Growing up hurt, she was a small child. She didn't plan on it being her mother. She didn't plan on her mother. Motherfucking mother. A woman can beat, a woman can hurt, a woman can teach her child to be prepared. Always one step ahead, like them, like the men. She grew up disbelieving in women, disbelieving in herself. She'd walk the streets knowing she was a number. She didn't care, she was one step ahead. She wore a female condom. She'll tell you what it's like. It's like she's getting close to you. She's learning about you. She is scaring you like her mother, like you, becoming like what you were born to be. Danger, a motherfucking mother. You get a gun to prevent the danger. You took the defense class to be more like the to her. You taste like her. You look at her. You look like her. You smell like her. You taste like chicken. Killing your clone is still murder. Did you ever think a woman with a gun is like them? Did you ever think that taking defense class is like them, like the men? Can't stop the problem, and each day you grow more like me, more like a problem, more full of hatred. Each day you sprout more feathers, looking more like chicken to taste like, more like me. But you are better at me than me. I want to pluck your feathers, stop the taste of chicken, but they regrow one day when you are fat with ease. Then they will capture you, use you for their cause, 'cause you were just like them, just like the men. They will then pluck your feathers. You run, screaming, hiding from the hands. They use the feathers to tar others who are not like them. Use you for their cause. I will help them. You taught me. A woman can beat, a woman can hurt, a woman can teach her child to pluck the feathers, to pull them too. You taste just like chicken. I pull so hard, I kill you. Killing your clone is still murder. I've been forced to deal, semblance of dealing, forced to kill, semblance of killing. Chicken!
Ask my friends, come back around. I might need them to see what's coming. A waste of time, a listless life, filled with death wish benders and diets. But where were you? I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remember 6 feet high and crawling under. You lie there all the time. 'Cause I remem might need them to see. Ask my friends to stick around, I might need them. Tell my friends to hang around, I might need them to see what's going down.
Having strong body language decreases our risk of being targeted for violence. When we talk about strong body language, we mean walking with our heads up and shoulders back, making eye contact with people in a way that lets them know we've seen them, swinging our arms and taking up space, and keeping our awareness up. Try walking across the room with your eyes focused on the ground about 2 feet in front of you. Now walk back with strong body language. Keep your head up, shoulders back, and allow for your arms to swing naturally. Notice the difference in how you would appear to others. Strong body language not only affects how others perceive us, it also increases our confidence inside.
Listlessly in line with a line of denial. Be careful! Don't go in the underground parking and don't go in the sauna at night. Don't go in the elevator in the lobby. Something's not right. Neurosis complements the vortex of his waiting for the right response, the right place, the right time. Don't go in the underground parking and don't go in the sauna at night. Don't go in the elevator in the lobby. Something's not right. She's got a gun. She's got a knife. She's got some scissors. She's got a life.
And that's more than I can say for you.
Don't go in the underground parking and don't go in the sauna at night. Don't go in the elevator in the lobby. Something's not right. Don't go in the underground parking and don't go in the sauna at night. Don't go in the elevator in the lobby. Something's not right.
Okay, now we're going to talk about different verbal strategies. Our voice is a weapon. We can use our voice to yell, to say no. We can use our voice to confront someone who's bothering us, to make a scene, or to talk our way out of a really scary situation. Yelling is great because it keeps us breathing. It also attracts attention to our situation, and it sometimes can freak an attacker out enough so that he'll just leave us alone. On the count of 3, we're going to breathe in and yell no as loud as we can. And remember to breathe in from your belly and yell from your belly instead of from your throat. 1, 2, 3.
No!
Good. Again. 1, 2, 3.
What's up? This is the 151 coming at y'all real for the 9-4. This is about real defense. The best defense is yourself. so peep these lyrics. So many stories and problems with relationships these days. Battered women pray and fellas rest in their graves over misunderstandings and lack of trust. Whatever happened to the number one, self-motivation? Yes, you. I'm talking about you being true, not just to the man above, but being true through all you go through. Sisters think they need somebody to keep them straight, someone to freestyle on their mentality. They get caught up and act helpless, unsure, without realizing all what ladies really can endure. We were made to be strong, and I know you feel the hurts, but sometimes you gotta kick your feelings to the dirt and get real with yourself. All you need is yourself. With the hand from the man, you don't need nothing else. I used to walk the ghetto blocks with my head down, depressed and all alone until I found my sounds. There's no stopping with this topic, even though y'all is tense. Just remember, your inner being is your real self-defense. There's no stopping with this topic, even though y'all feel tense. Just remember, your real self-defense. Verse 2, here's a story about a girl that came to meet. She was under a lot of stress, barely pushing 17. See, her fella was a little jealous around the way, and he had gripped her up a couple times, night and day. There was nowhere she could turn. Her heart was nearly broken. Her heart had fell apart, and her prayers were unspoken. She said, 151, what should I do? Should I just leave him or sip upon my brew? Then this is what I told ya. He's a buffalo soldier, trying to be the dog and playing the cold shoulder. If you knew the martial arts, he'd be the predator, and you'd be flipping and ripping and sticking the fucking backs of your competitors. Real defense is yourself. Real defense, you don't need no one else. Real defense is yourself. Real defense, you don't need nothing else. Say I am worth a lot no matter what people do. I believe in me and I know someone should too. Anything or anyone that tries to hurt or put me down can kiss my ass, cause I'm almost touching ground. See, if you're going through some troubles and your partner's pissed, just remember your inner being is your real self-defense. Yeah, like that's basically what I'm trying to get through to y'all. Us ladies and fellas need to wake up and realize that we're just hurting each other. But there's no stopping with this topic, even though y'all is tense. Just remember, your inner being is your real self-defense. There's no stopping with this topic, even though y'all is tense. Just remember, your inner being is your real self-defense. There's no stopping your real self-defense.
Hey, I just want to say that I'm sorry, and I'll never put my hands on you again.
I understand all that, but your words can't ease the pain. This is what you say all the time.
I'm sorry, and I promise I'll never do it again.
Whatever. All I need is myself now. That's straight.
Alright, please don't leave.
Gotta go. I gotta go. I got to move on. I got to find me something better. I got to move on. I got to find me a real man. Yeah, well, this is the 151 Bacardi for the 9-4 with Deep Productions. Talking about some real defense. The message I wanted y'all to observe was for men not to put their hands on ladies. Cause ladies ain't gotta put up with that in the 9-4. Nobody has to. So basically all I'm saying is be real to yourself. That's the only person that's gonna be down for you. And I'm out.
And for all you men out there, it don't take beating on these women to get your point across. Let's get it together and straighten it up.
Straight like that. Real defense takes a man to keep his hands to himself. Real defense takes a woman.
Yelling can be useful if we want to make a scene. Attackers don't want to be hurt or caught, and making a scene in a public place increases our safety because it exposes the attacker's inappropriate behavior. Women who are willing to risk embarrassment and draw attention to themselves are safer. Assertiveness is another verbal strategy. Saying no is assertive. Naming the behavior, criticizing it, and telling the person what you want them to do is assertive. For example,
"You're looking at my body and I don't like it. Leave me alone."
Being direct without making excuses is assertive. Maintaining eye contact and strong body language is assertive. Now we're going to practice the following verbal commands standing, sitting, and lying down. Remember that we can be assertive no matter what our body position is, as long as we mean it. Repeat after me. You're touching me. I don't like it. Stop touching me.
Ask the sun for a light. Said I quit last night. Everything is right, perfect out of sight. Story of my life, day out and day in. At least that's what they're saying.
Well, I was in my dorm room in college, and this guy was in there I didn't really know very well, and he was just hanging out, and all of a sudden he turned to me and he said, "You look like you want to be raped." And I said, "What the fuck makes you think that?" But he attacked me, and I totally fought him off for like 15 minutes, and he ripped my clothes off and stuff, but I didn't let him, like, he wasn't able to kiss me, and he didn't get any sexual contact.
There are 4 primary targets on the body: eyes, knees, groin, and throat. Targets are primary because they have an involuntary or automatic response when they're hit. They are the most vulnerable. They are not pain dependent. All attackers, no matter how big and strong, have eyes, knees, groin, and throat. Muscle and size cannot protect the vulnerability of these targets. 25 pounds of pressure can bust out a knee, and then an attacker can no longer chase us. Think about what happens when we get a piece of dust in our eye. Imagine getting 10 fingers in our eyes. And the throat, even gently pushing on our windpipe with our own hand, makes us cough. When we hit hard and with multiple strikes, we increase the likelihood of getting away safely. We use the strong parts of our bodies, such as our elbows, knees, hands, fists, and feet, against an attacker's weak parts, the eyes, knees, groin, and throat. Remember, it is the intention and internal will of the woman which are really important. If we choose to fight back physically, commit 100% and hit with multiple strikes.
If you choose to fight, then remember these are the places to hit. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes are easily poked, ouch! The knees are easily kicked out. The groin is a sensitive spot. When you hit the throat, it hurts. remember these are the places to hit. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes are easily poked. Ouch! The knees are easily kicked out. The groin is a sensitive spot. When you hit the throat, it hurts a lot. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes, knees, groin, throat. Eyes, knees, groin, throat.
Don't wrestle with an attacker. Wrestling is tiring, and unless you are a trained wrestler, it is probably a contest of strength and body weight. Strike instead. When you hit or kick, strike hard with all of your power. Don't hold back a thing. Imagine you are striking through your target. Don't stop at your target. Yell loudly every time you strike. Hit fast. Your strikes are faster than a speeding bullet. Keep on hitting over and over to whatever targets are open. Hit high and low. If you choose to fight, don't stop until you feel you can get away.
Kick ass!
Yeah!
A couple of years ago, I lived in the Mount Pleasant district of Washington, D.C., and every time I left my house, without fail, I get harassed by the men in the neighborhood. And there was this one corner in particular that was the worst, where there'd usually be about 5 or 6 guys hanging out, and would always give me shit. And one day, I was walking past them on my way home, and one of the guys says to me, "Hey, Red," because of my red hair, and I say, "Hey," back. And I get a few feet away, and he says, "I bet you're like that all over, fire pussy." And they all start hooting and yelling, "Fire crotch," and on. And I just kept walking to my house across the street. And I walked inside and up the stairs to my room, completely enraged and shaking and about to vomit, because by now this has happened a million times. And I'm in my room, and I don't know what happened. Something just snapped, and I turned around and walked down the stairs and back out the door, started crossing the street towards them, and as I got closer, I could hear them saying to each other, "Oh my God, here she comes, she's crazy." And I walk up to the guy I know who started it all, and he stands up, and he's huge, and he gets right in my face and draws his fist back and just holds it there like he's gonna hit me. And he says to me, "You got something to say to me, bitch?" And completely shaking, I say back to him, "Yeah, I do." And he says, "Well, I'm not listening to you, bitch." And this older guy who was hanging out with him, he's about 60, he just says to the guy, "Hey, just give her a listen." So the guy drops his fist, and I say, "All right, now I want you guys to imagine something. Say you're all sitting here hanging out, and you're waiting for your sister to show up, and leaning against the wall over there is this guy you've never seen before. Now, you see your sister coming down the street toward you, but before she gets to you, she has to pass by this guy leaning against the wall. And when she does, he says to her, 'Hey, baby, nice tits, nice ass. Come here, I want to fuck you, baby,' or some shit. Now, what are you going to do?" And the big guy says, "I'm going to fucking kill him." And all the other guys are saying the same thing. And I say, "Well, look, you know, I'm somebody's sister too, and every woman you see on the street is somebody's sister, or grandmother, or daughter, or girlfriend, or mother, and we're all sick of getting this shit from you every day. Can you understand that?" And there's just silence. And the big guy's looking down for a minute, and then he looks up and he says to me, "Yeah." And he sticks out his hand, and we shake, and he says, "Peace." And every time I passed them after that, they would just nod and say, "Hey." Now, as unlikely as this may seem, it really happened. And I think the reason it worked was that I used my voice, because we have to realize that we're just dehumanized bodies to these guys, and our voices portray our souls to them. And I think that seemed to scare them more than anything.
Here's a little something coming from mi corazón para los papas de la raza. Porque your society made our daddies crazy. Not his parents or his grandparents, but the invasion of El Diablo con azul ojos. So I don't blame him, I blame you, cause you have created him. That's why mi vida es loca, cause I've devoted my life trying to save him. So don't try to escape the truth, because I am ruthless, and you will hear this, porque yo tengo la sangre de Montezuma. And it's time for revenge, just call me Axteca X, and I'll drop it like this.
That chola's in that casa, she's down for rasa. That chola's in that casa, and she's down for rasa.
Society made daddy crazy, just between you and me. He really don't wanna hit me, just in this a day and time. I'm gonna bust hard rhyming, give me padre the respect. I grew up in an orphanage, crawled into a boy's crib to share his cover, and discovered he was his same brother that came from the very same mother. But just like every other, he fell into the white rat's trap, just in a snap piece soda, getting bolder, has a lover, now living in his car cause he couldn't play the part. But he was smart, just like a preacher, give a lecture to the homeboys till they were annoyed, hoping they would give in. But look at the society we're living in, ain't no respect for all men. They only get the short end of the stick, and they get to pick which end they get struck with. Now how to get jacked, just like that. Now here's his pay back, more like revenge, when he goes on a binge with a needle in his syringe. Mix more of that concoction and reminisce of days of bliss that his. At age 2, you were on your babysitter's Mac list, just had to give her a kiss. Now your childhood you miss. As I speak of back in the day, I want la gente to recognize and give pride and respect to los niños y los viejitos. Tenemos un causa, and that's the advancement and total liberation of Aztlan. We must work together, not against one another. But if you sell out, los vendidos get the hell out. Cause it's a crime to close your eyes on la causa de la santa raza. And if our men give in, our women give in. And if our women give in, our children will never, ever win. Grease in your hair and you don't care about the days of yore. You think it's a war, so you leave the drug lords. Now we're home alone with a six-pack, just to relax, and Uncle Sam gets a tax. Dollars every time you holler to drown that pain you're living in. It's all cause of the system that track you into school. Now you're US troop with a group of brainwashed camouflage used to block that pistol. Now is it crystal clear, or can you hear? These are your years. Now you're raising a kid and you can't get rid of your past. At last it gets beat out of your wife who holds a family tie. And that ain't right, not tonight or ever again. Should you hit a woman, cause you're a man who fell into the scam. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It's live or die, that's how it was designed. And get things straight in your mind, cause living brown is a crime. And I question if it's racist. 80% of Latin men in the pink cause of sex crime. They're in behind bars in a world that's ours. Women are getting strong and protesting what's wrong. But let's stop for a minute and step way back to when Daddy got jacked. Since the invasion of the indigenous days, we didn't have a choice, forced to assimilate. Narrow gates, laughs on a shooting range.
Simone, Simone, Simone. Simone, Simone, Simone. Simone, Simone, Simone.
Our families are divided, our men are locked in cages. White man has our mama slaving. Now times are changing. We need to regulate our own raza. If something happens to our women, we have to take care of the problem that makes her a victim. And we need to stop slaying into our own that el diablo consume. We have to raise our men to be the force and our women the strength. We need to quit pimping, macking, and hoeing. We're all here for one reason. If we don't get help, we're gonna melt in the pot. But we shall rot with his genes to fulfill the sins of the game we're in. As if we were a mannequin placed in a position to fail by a pale face who holds the ace for the vida you will chase. Stop thinking you're cool, afraid to be in school. Cause according to the rules, you shall lose. Just another classic move. And this is true, can't afford a gangster lane to kill off brown men who can preserve our culture from within. And if it's economic pressure that's out to test you, do what you can for you and the clan. Be a new man with some of the Aztec ways from back in the days. And never force a woman to get laid if it's the same as a shame to assimilate to a blue-eyed fate. And don't make a mistake, cause it's a heartache to see society make our daddies crazy. Yo soy Azteca X, soy un política y revolucionaria por 050595. Es diferente en el año nuevo. No quiero una fiesta, yo quiero una movida. Times have changed, the causes are same. Tengo respeto para mis padres. But your society made our daddies crazy. Our mamas raising confused babies. And in your eyes, they're disciples of your lives. Till we cry. Una causa, no es una causa. Sin una revolución, and it's time. As La Chola, known as Azteca X, I gotta say kubo to my production team. No one else, DJ Sky D, Star Child, it's all from the Pure Flave. I gotta thank MC Unknown, a down-ass Chicano, and I gotta say what's up to ABC, cause I know those homies are always down to represent me.
AP Productions, down for the functions. MC Unknown and I'm truthful.
Alright, that's it.
I can't do nothing right for
I was a kid, grew up in Brooklyn. Way back in the days when the Dodgers played there. Nostalgia's creeping into my voice, I can't help it. Part of my growing period. I used to go into Manhattan twice a week on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, to attend classes at a school that I went to. And I used to go in sometimes during the week for various programs. And I evidently once in a while got caught in rush hour. And there were light-fingered characters in the subways even in those years. And I was the kind of kid that everybody wanted to take a piece out of. I had a big rear end and red hair, and I certainly stood out. And, you know, even at that age, I was a little more advanced than I should have been. And there were people who just took advantage of the situation. Now, of course, they do things that are much more reprehensible, but to my understanding, it was still a pain in the neck, literally. I mean, it wasn't, but... So anyway, I finally figured I wasn't going to talk to my mother about it because my mother was very reserved about things like that, and she wasn't much help. She'd just get hysterical, and that would be it. So I just resolved it by carrying a hat pin. And every once in a while, when somebody was getting a little too fancy or forward or annoying, I used it. So every once in a while, I'd be hanging on to the posts that you hang on to in crowded situations, and I'd use it very judiciously, of course, and every once in a while you'd hear a something like that, so I knew I'd met my mark, and that's the way I took care of things when I went to when I went to Manhattan on the subway.
Control that he
to remember those pilgrims that we are to follow so that our future and the future of our children can be peaceful. They could live in peace and accord.
Lonely bruises I can without, but sometimes I can't speak at all. My dreams are very real, but I'll never know how she feels. I've never been hit or abused. What does that make me to you? Find a forest clover every day. All my luck won't make it go well. Is it lucky to live this way when all I'm trying to do is make it through the day? Is it lucky to live my life when all I'm trying to do is make it home tonight? Into my room, 3 o'clock, Friday night. The tooth was gone, the glass is lost. If I could see her, said she would not. All the stars I wish I could, but I could not erase the fear that I was really into the sea. Two dreams so she could see. Is it lucky to live this way when all we're trying to do is make it through the day? Is it lucky to live our lives when all we're trying to do is make it through the day? Oh,